Hi, thanks for tuning into my official YouTube channel. I'm Reverend MeeLing, been known by a few names. Reverend MeeLing, Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle. Just to name a few. So I'm in a little bit of an ornery mood, so I'm gonna give that as a warning for this particular official YouTube video. So I have a couple of questions. Maybe somebody can answer that for me, because I'm in one of those moods. So not making fun, but I can just laugh. Anyway, so I had a head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. I had fought to be emancipated to join the United States of America's Armed Forces. Those who have studied the history of the United States of America and the various levels of government in which the different kind of familial sort of viewpoints in certain regards, so like the President of the United States of America and the First Lady of the United States of America and the Vice President of the United States of America and the Vice First Lady or the Second Lady of the United States of America are considered the equivalent of like the mom and dad. And then the Congress and Senate are like aunts and uncles and stuff. If you actually look it up, that's actually the way it's been portrayed in certain regards. So on and so forth. And then, the governors of the states are like the equivalent-ish of stuff. And so, look it up. It really is. I actually saw that in a legal book, ironically. So since I fought to be emancipated to join the United States of America's Armed Forces, does that in some odd, twisted sort of way mean that because I fought to be emancipated to join the United States of America's Armed Forces Army branch and my head injury happened on Palm Sunday in 2000 when it was still President Clinton and President William Jefferson Clinton and Vice President give me a second. I have so many thoughts going so fast right now. So at that time, it was President of the United States of America, Bill Clinton, First Lady of the United States of America, Hillary Clinton, although I call her Hillary. I have a feeling there's a few people, even she might even be able to giggle at that because, you better do things right. And so you better be on time. You better not be late. I have this feeling. And then at that time, it was Vice President Al Gore and Second Lady, is it not Karen? Is it Karen? Mrs. Gore. And then, so that when I woke up, does that mean they're like my moms and dads? Is that how that goes? By technicality, since, my biological mother and biological father really didn't care very much in so many different ways. And since, I was in the army and stuff like that, or does that mean, I kind of, there was this book I really liked as a child. It's called Are You My Mother? I thought of that earlier. I can't remember who wrote it. Nonetheless, then, because I landed at the bottom of the ocean and I surfaced from the bottom of the ocean when I went scuba diving in 2009. I mean, I was already medically retired from the Army for a while. So then does that mean technically, like, does that make then President Barack Obama and then First Lady First Lady of the United States of America, Michelle Obama, does that make, and then Vice President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, and Second Lady of the United States of America, Heinz something, does that make that like a redo? Is that how that goes? I mean, obviously, biologically, Mike and Ann. But I just kind of was wondering that. Or does that mean, when I was in the Army, then that was, the commander of the Army was that. Or does that mean since I landed at the bottom of the ocean and serviced from the bottom, does that make the commander of the Navy and the Coast Guard and the Marine Corps? Like, how does that work? Because, and then that would technically mean that the Air Force too, because, you know, the Air Force came from the Army. And so, like, which way does that work? Like, is it the Pentagon at that point? Does that mean the Pentagon? Is my mom and dad? I don't know. I'm kind of confused. I know that it's probably not the most normal question. I just kind of figured I'd ask, you know, which way does that go? Or does that mean like my teachers, for my instructors of my scuba diving courses, does that make them my parents? How does that work? Or does that mean Patty is my parent? Or does that mean National Geographic? Or does that mean Noah? Or does that mean Dan? Or does that mean Dan Aware? Or is it, how does that go? I know that's probably not the most normal question, but you know, I'm just going to throw that out there. Or is it just the White House in general? Or is it the Congress in general? Or the Senate in general? Or is it like all? Like, how does that work? Because by technicalities, obviously the United States of America. Or is it the state of Texas? Because I got my scuba diving in the state of Texas. I woke up from my head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000, and that's the state of Texas. How's that go? I just was wondering, like, is it a joint sort of thing? Or is it technically one or the other? How? I'm just gonna throw that out there because, you know, I'm in one of those moods. And so I was just wondering, does that so by technicalities, who are you, my mom? I don't know. Or does that mean my Reiki master teacher? Is that how that goes? Or but that was after my head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000, but before I went scuba diving. So just see irony. Because the ocean is also called the sea. Or does that mean that the NSA, is that how that goes? Or is it Homeland Security? Or all of the above? Or because the President of the United States of America now is President Donald J. Trump. With First Lady of the United States of America, Miss Melania Trump, and then Vice President Mike Pence, and then for the and then Second Lady of the United States of America, Karen Pence. Does that make that? Is that how that goes? Or is it kind of a reverse now? Because I knew that who is current president of the United States of America, I knew that he was going to become that with Miss Melania as the First Lady. Or does that switch that up? Because then that's kind of a little backwards. Then again, so am I. So, just wondering. Just gonna throw that out there. Or does that mean like Old Town Presbyterian Church? Because that's where I was the first live baby Jesus at the drive-through thing. Does that technically mean that? Or does that mean the state of New Jersey? Or does that just as an overall mean the United States of America? I was just wondering that. And I cannot tell you how my thoughts went to wondering that, because I think weirdly. That is my answer to that, as far as how my thoughts went that way. I was just wondering. Maybe somebody can answer. I don't know. You guys have a good one. Comment, like, share, and subscribe to my official YouTube channel. Have a good one.